Hare Krishna. This is the first video recording about um, the first canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, and this series I plan to call it as the first canto unpacked. So I'll have a series of readings with explanations of Srila Prabhupada's edition of the first canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. We'll begin with Prabhupada's dedication. He dedicates uh, his edition of the Srimad Bhagavatam to Srila Prabhupada, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj, my spiritual master, on the 26th annual ceremony of his appearance day. He lives forever by his divine instructions, and the follower lives with him. It is significant that Prabhupada has dedicated his edition of Srimad Bhagavatam to Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, because Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur was very fond of propagating the Srimad Bhagavatam. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, who was the father as well as Shiksha Guru of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati, he had very much desired to present the entire Srimad Bhagavatam with full explanation, but he had no time. So he had written smaller books based on the teachings of the Srimad Bhagavatam, and he wanted to present them as homeopathic doses. Small books he wrote generally. And he had desired that the entire Srimad Bhagavatam be explicated. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur took up this work and produced a very fine edition, a scholarly edition of Srimad Bhagavatam in Sanskrit and Bengali. And apart from that, he stood for the Srimad Bhagavatam and preached it throughout India, and he wanted it spread throughout the whole world. So Srila Prabhupada's dedication of his edition of Srimad Bhagavatam to his spiritual master is very significant. Similarly, we note that Prabhupada dedicated the teachings of Lord Chaitanya to Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur. He dedicated his nectar of devotion to the six Goswamis of Vrindavan. So this is very appropriate that he has dedicated this to his spiritual master Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. And Srila Prabhupada said he never was separated from his spiritual master because of the service that he had done. Preface. We must know the present need of human society. And what is that need? Human society is no longer bounded by geographical limits to particular countries or communities. Human society is broader than in the Middle Ages, and the world tendency is toward one state or one human society. Here, the Middle Ages refers to around the 1500s and so on. In Europe, the concept of Renaissance is usually associated with that time period, the 15th century, 16th century. And Prabhupada's reference to the Middle Ages is to that time period when more or less Europe woke up to the idea that there is a humanity as a whole, and we need to explore about nature and about human society. And the world tendency is towards humanitarian concepts even now. The ideals of spiritual communism, according to Srimad Bhagavatam, are based more or less on the oneness of the entire human society, nay, of the entire energy of living beings. The Srimad Bhagavatam promotes spiritual communism, and the idea is that all living entities are equally servants of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna. So all living entities are having one uniform need, which is to attain pure love of Godhead. This is the prime focus and teaching of the Srimad Bhagavatam. The need is felt by great thinkers to make this a successful ideology. Great thinkers like Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, and their illustrious predecessors. Srimad Bhagavatam will fill this need in human society. It begins therefore with the aphorism of Vedanta philosophy, Janmadhyasya Yataha, to establish the ideal of a common cause. Vedanta philosophy refers to the Vedanta Sutra, and the first aphorism or sutra of the Vedanta is Janmadhyasya Yataha, which is also the beginning of the Srimad Bhagavatam. The idea is that both the Srimad Bhagavatam and the Vedanta Sutra, they are bringing our focus to the common cause. All of us are caused by the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sarvakarana Karanam, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna. And Srimad Bhagavatam will help human society understand that we are all eternally subordinate to that common cause. Human society at the present moment is not in the darkness of oblivion. At the present moment, human society is not lacking knowledge about many things. It has made rapid progress in the field of material comforts, education, and economic development throughout the entire world. But there is a pinprick somewhere in the social body at large, and therefore there are large scale quarrels even over less important issues. But something is missing. Therefore, even over minor issues, there are major quarrels. There is need of a clue as to how humanity can become one in peace, friendship, and prosperity with a common cause. Srimad Bhagavatam will fill this need, for it is a cultural presentation for the re-spiritualization of the entire human society. It is this book, Srimad Bhagavatam, which will re-spiritualize the entire human society. Human society has been instructed by the Supreme Personality of Godhead in the bygone ages that its business is to become fully Krishna conscious, is to become conscious of the supreme cause of all causes, and to render unconditional devotional service unto Him and become peaceful and happy and return back home, back to Godhead. Srimad Bhagavatam will remind human readers about this. It will induce human readers to take to devotional service to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and in that way become help human society become peaceful and harmonious with one another, as well as harmonious with the Supreme Godhead. Srimad Bhagavatam should be introduced also in the schools and colleges, for it is recommended by the great student devotee Prahlad Maharaj in order to change the demoniac phase of society. Srimad Bhagavatam is not a theoretical book that is meant to be studied by Sanskrit scholars. It is meant to be studied by everyone, beginning from the primary schools all the way up to the advanced educational centers such as colleges. This is a recommendation that is presented within the Srimad Bhagavatam itself through Prahlad Maharaj, who happened to be a student also. Currently, society is demoniac, like Hiranyakashipu's demoniac kingdom. Humankind is averse to the Supreme Godhead under various names such as secularism. Prahlad Maharaj has this to say: Kaumara acharet pragyo dharman bhagavatan iha durlabham manusham janma tadapyadhruvam arthadam. This is from 761 of Srimad Bhagavatam. And this is exactly what it means. Prahlad Maharaj said, one who is sufficiently intelligent should use the human form of body from the very beginning of life. In other words, from the tender age of childhood, to practice the activities of devotional service, giving up all other engagements. The human body is most rarely achieved, and although temporary, like other bodies, it is meaningful because in human life one can perform devotional service. Even a slight amount of sincere devotional service can give one complete perfection. Disparity in human society is due to lack of principles in a godless civilization. There is God, or the Almighty One, from whom everything emanates, by whom everything is maintained, and in whom everything is merged to rest. The problems of human society is because it is functioning godlessly. There is one supreme Godhead who is the ultimate cause of creation, maintenance, dissolution, which is the cycle of material events. Material science has tried to find the ultimate source of creation very insufficiently, but it is a fact that there is one ultimate source of everything, that be. Material science, theoretical sciences have struggled to discover the ultimate source of everything, but they still haven't come to a verifiable conclusion. But the fact is, there is one ultimate source. This ultimate source is explained rationally and authoritatively in the beautiful Bhagavatam or Srimad Bhagavatam. Srimad means beautiful. The Bhagavatam is a very beautiful book. It is a book about the beautiful personality of Godhead. And this beautiful personality of Godhead himself is the ultimate source. And he is explained rationally and authoritatively. Srimad Bhagavatam is not a dogmatic presentation of theology. It's a rational presentation of revelational theology. Srimad Bhagavatam is the transcendental science, not only for knowing the ultimate source of everything, but also for knowing our relation with Him and our duty toward perfection of the human society on the basis of this perfect knowledge. The Srimad Bhagavatam teaches us three things. It teaches us about the ultimate source of everything, Krishna, as well as our relationship with Him. This is one category. It also teaches us what is our duty towards attaining the highest perfection of existence on the basis of this perfect understanding of our relationship with Him. In order to understand our relationship with the Supreme Godhead, we must know the nature of the Supreme Godhead. We must know our nature, and we must know the relationship between us and Him. In this transient world, we should also know what is the highest perfection of our existence. The highest perfection of our existence is to revive our pure love of God and to selflessly render affectionate service to His lotus feet. Our duty is to revive that pure love for Him. It is powerful reading matter in the Sanskrit language, and it is now rendered into English elaborately, so that simply by a careful reading one will know God perfectly well, so much so that the reader will be sufficiently educated to defend himself from the onslaught of atheists. This is a very, very powerful reading substance. It is given in the Sanskrit language. It is powerful because if it is presented through the disciplic succession, by hearing the Srimad Bhagavatam, we can change ourselves drastically, completely. Now Srila Prabhupada has rendered it into English elaborately. So simply by carefully and submissively reading it, one will understand the nature of Godhead, so that when atheists present irrational arguments against the existence of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he will be able to defend himself from their ideological attacks. Over and above this, the reader will be able to convert others to accepting God as a concrete principle. And not only can he merely defend himself from the onslaught of atheists, he can positively and proactively help others understand how the Supreme Godhead is the concrete principle as the cause of all creation, maintenance, sustenance, and the transcendental absolute personality of Godhead beyond the reach of our intelligence and senses, but who nevertheless verifiably exists if we submit ourselves to Him.